Previously on Roleplay Radio.
Hey, Griff, I found this. And Cost is going to, take the invitation. So, I know that it's your name on the invite, but I was wondering if you could add me to the entourage, because I really want to go to a gala.
So Griff knows exactly what that envelope is. He would, help lick the envelopes when he was younger. He would hide from the parties when they were thrown, and he really does not want to go.
Oh, right, Griff, your father is sending a tailor to your tower in a few weeks.
If I'm part of your entourage, do you think I should also get some clothing tailored?
Was Cost also going to the gala?
So my parents are having a gala.
I was aware.
Yeah. And they asked me to bring an entourage of 4, and...
Well, Croc Tower is lucky then.
I got the feeling that while they are good people, they're not necessarily of the class or status that my parents want to enjoy. I thought that it would also maybe help me not take so much heat for having friends who they might deem unworthy.
And you think that a Sauvage would be worthy in their eyes?
I think game recognizes game.
Sig does not want any more attention drawn to herself. She is very anxious about this gala. She is going to be spending a lot of time studying all of the polite rules and which fork you're allowed to use and how all the dances work.
Probably just a book or something along the lines, like Madame Ginny's Manual of Etiquette for Young Growing Women, something like that.
There's someone called the Collector. The Collector is very outwardly Honoric. Wears a mask. He doesn't just collect money, debts. He counts people.
He's like a slave trader?
Of sorts. Blackmails poor people who...
Kidnap.
If you tell anyone about this, I will ruin your reputation.
I don't have a reputation, Lorraine.
My family is running low on money. Okay? Gambling addiction. My father is not doing very well.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah. The point is, the Collector, he's a horrible individual. And friends of mine told me that he might make an appearance at a certain gala that you were all invited to. I just thought this was something that I should bring up to all of you.
Is there anything you can tell us about this person? Defining characteristics? Does he have a particular voice?
The voice is masked by the mask itself, so no one really knows what his voice actually sounds like.
Rubbish.
He turns into some werebeast of sorts.
Any reason why he'd be there?
To collect, I assume. Okay, I'm ready to be toxic.
Oh boy.
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready. I'm more ready to be toxic than you are.
Welcome to the Burninghammer Gala. It's going to be a very wholesome session, and people are just going to have a nice party with the most wholesome family in the world.
Good.
Griffin, we're going to start with you today. You were brought home early after an owlbear stampede attacked Strixhaven. Your mom was very happy to see you, and she was very worried. Your father was away at business, of course, and continued to be for a couple of weeks until today. 2 days before the gala, you see that carriage arriving down below. Sir?
Yeah? Bart?
Your father is expecting you.
Alright.
And there's your father. You haven't seen him in 4.5 months. Looks just as regal as the last time you saw him, and just as stern-faced. Removes his coat, removes his scarf, doesn't address you until he has made himself comfortable. You're quite used to this by now, where you open his door, or you knock on his door, and he says come in, but he's writing something. He's always writing something when you come in, and he always makes you wait.
Hashtag Varelda Lang.
Finally sets his quill down and gets up and approaches you slowly. Griffin.
Morning.
I heard about what happened at Strixhaven.
Which thing?
The attack.
Which one?
The owlbear's son.
Did you hear about the other stuff?
Yes. Griffin, I'm proud of your actions. You jumped into the fight without hesitation, and that brings honor to the family. Well done.
He doesn't know how to take that. He's just standing there. I don't think he's necessarily gotten that from his dad before.
He kind of faces back towards his desk and picks up a parchment, looks at it, and says, "Now, I've been patient, Griffin. Very patient. So I hope you've had your fun. Come spring, things will change. Starting with your job." He sets the parchment down. "No more of whatever it is you're doing. No more working for this sleazy scumbag, Fate the Broker. No more. And as for these people," and he holds up with a very familiar list, which I believe would have been written in either your handwriting or Bartholomew's, with a list of your housemates. No more.
Is Supige on that too? Because
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For the record, I do not approve of this little entourage. Both your mother and I were very surprised. But I can learn to live with it. Charity goes a long way, Griffin. Your housemates will be welcome in our home. They will be given a care package. They will be given all the letters of recommendation they could ask for. Hell, I might even offer to pay some of their tuition for next year. But they are not your friends, Griffin. Come spring, they are your housemates. Not acquaintances. Not traveling, adventuring companions. Housemates. Is that understood?
Griffin's doing a lot of math in his head. And I think he's going to choose to just let his gut rot. Just give him the downward man nod.
I think he doubles down, though. I think he says, "I want to hear you say it. Is that understood, Griffin?"
Your sentiments are heard and understood.
Good. House Burninghammer does not affiliate itself with those who are deemed lesser. You are dismissed.
What you writing?
A business proposal. Would you care to sit down and hear about it, given that you will be part of the Entrepreneur Society in the spring?
Well, you sound so gosh darn excited about it. I might as well.
Great. You have lots to learn.
Wonderful. I'll be sure to take notes.
So, Ravnikins and Visitor.
Technically, Gary's also not like a born and bred Ravnikin.
Okay. Really quickly, what have you guys been up to over there? Because this is about 2 weeks into the winter break. You had a lot of time to do all kinds of things. What have you been doing?
I have a whole list of things that Gary did over winter break.
Okay.
He got a sample of turtle brew and broke it down into its elements to see what it was made up of.
Are you talking about Shelly's hooch?
Yeah, Shelley's turtle brew.
Okay.
He briefly visited his parents who don't live in Ravnica for a weekend, but was otherwise staying with Minnie. He asked around a bit about Grux to see what Grux is saying about his visit to Strixhaven, and general just like alchemy experimentation.
There were probably a couple moments because Koss is not Koss in Ravnica, Koss is Adrian.
Yep.
There was probably some moments where they invited their friends over, and Shelly in particular probably didn't quite get what was going on.
No. So I was like, why the fuck are they calling you that? So I think that Shelly's been hanging out with Xanther and Toby, and probably going for frolics with Toby. Maybe Xanther's coming too, I don't know. I imagine that we had 2 twin-sized beds and we put them together, so we just had like slumber parties.
Oh, y'all are thruppling it up.
And I think that also, after Shelly received a letter from Gary talking about the turtle brew, Shelly was like, okay, maybe I should try and perfect this a little bit more. And so I think that every day they've made another type of turtle brew with like new ingredients and things like that. I think that after this, maybe it's a little bit higher quality. Maybe it tastes a little better. I think that Shelly has added a new ingredient to give it a flavor. Maybe a fruit of Ravnica.
Okay.
Is it not just love?
And where do you want me to get picked up Bartholomew?
The statue. The Croc Tower
The
statue.
melted statue.
Yeah.
When you all arrive, you see him just standing there in front of the melted down statue with a sign that says Koss Silver Trove, Shelly Shell, Garrett Grigg.
Gary, is that the statue? I thought you said it was the Croc guy.
Well, I said that I melted it, so now it's a pile of melted mush.
May I just say, by the way, incredibly impressive for you to have concocted something that would melt an entire stone statue.
It might have been more impressive if that had been my intention, as opposed to just trying to make it look extra glitzy.
Croc Tower folks? Is that you, Croc Tower folks?
Yes, I heard that you were Bartholomew.
I knew that I recognized you. How are you all today?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Looking forward to this gala.
Follow me. It's a pleasure to see you. The Burninghammers are expecting you. The gala is tomorrow, but we will settle in tonight. There are biscuits and tea and liquor in there.
So Koss, after taking a seat and fetching a tray of biscuits, tea, and also liquor, they will very ceremoniously unfold their giant floppy hat from within a bag and place that upon their heads. It's good to be getting out of Ravnica again.
And have you ever been in a private airship before? Very fancy.
Yeah, I feel like everything here is gilded with something. Probably gold. That's what gilded means.
And so you all travel from Ravnica to a little port town.
It's a city. It's just a
A
small
little port
city.
city, but it's a lot smaller than Ravnica.
Oh yeah.
And much less impressive. Tell me what Mistake has been up to during the winter break.
She wants to try and talk to the tiefling who manages the Mermaid's Tail. So she knows that a human owns the place, but a tiefling manages it, and it's in the tiefling slums. She knows that supposedly this is a new Auric place. She assumes new because from her experience, only tieflings go there. She basically, from him, wants to know what he knows about these non-tieflings who are coming there.
Okay, so why don't you roll a persuasion check, or
Can I argue deception because she's playing dumb?
Sure.
That's a nat 20.
Damn!
Oh my god, you are so dumb.
So what I picture here is that he sees you as very non-threatening, to the point where he's just like, oh honey, this is not the place where you want to be. This is not, and he tells you why. A lot of sketchy newcomers. They have been getting into fights in the back of the tavern. They have been conducting some kind of under-the-table trades. They come here to do this, to make exchanges. He tries to look the other way because he does not want to be involved, but he definitely can hear the coins. And also the rumors. These people that are saying that the wildest of rumors that he tells you is that Captain Dapplewing is planning to stage an attack on Red Fell or something along those lines. Something very ridiculous about her sending Dragon's Guard here to like conquer and create more like apartments and stuff like that, which is very... He himself doesn't know what to believe at this point. These Dapplewing rumors are all over the place here.
Does the owner know? How does the owner feel about it?
He has the suspicion that the owner is getting some of the profits from whatever trades are happening in this tavern.
And are any tieflings involved with these particularly suspicious things?
No.
Okay, cool. And then when she can, try and do some like damage control if people are saying Strixhaven is corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
If she's trying to use stuff she learns at Strixhaven to help them, that's probably not going to work very well.
Yeah, so I think what you would have heard is that Captain Dapplewing is corrupt. And you would have heard that a lot of teachers were under her wing. Her Dapplewing. And so that's mainly what you hear. The school itself as an institution, like they're not necessarily saying screw Strixhaven, it's more like screw the people running it. And this has been a recurring hot topic around Redfell and some other villages nearby.
So she disguises herself as a human and heads to the main port of the city.
You see Bartholomew standing there with a sign that just says mistake on it. Actually, it said like R-A and then it was like scratched out and then like mistake, as if Griffin was like, no, don't write that. And he's just standing there and he's looking very confused, looking for a tiefling, not finding any tiefling.
She goes over, lowers the sign. She's like, probably don't want to use that name here.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
Welcome to Redfell, Bartholomew. You might notice not a single tiefling around here.
Right. You might want to step inside. We need to have a discussion.
Oh no.
Once Mistake gets onto the airship, Gary's just gonna be like, did you bring the computational magic book?
She dismisses her disguised self.
What?
Did you bring the computational magic book? I tried to send you a letter, but I didn't have your address, so I sent it to Strixhaven and hoped they would send it to you.
No, they probably have some way they could send it, but they haven't. But good news, I mostly just bring them textbooks anyways.
Oh good, so you have it.
Yeah.
Perfect, can I read it?
Sure.
Hey, Mistake.
Hello?
Do you want some liquor and/or biscuits and tea? For your break.
Enlightening.
Oh, well, that's good. Did you do more learning?
Of a sort?
Well, you can tell us about it on the way.
It's definitely interesting. I think you'll enjoy some of the rumors I've heard.
Maybe if we pour gravy on your head, it will turn your hair brown.
No, actually, it doesn't hold color at all.
Alright.
Does it just, like, leach out of the ends?
Pretty much. So if it wasn't evident by my eyebrows, my hair used to be dark brown, and then I tried to dye it purple when I was 16, and I did it so wrong that it now grows in white and repels all color.
You would have looked good with purple hair, and then Cos turns into Gary with purple hair.
I would have!
Everyone, strap in, we're getting ready to descend.
You're high above the clouds, but you can see the beautiful palace below. Picture like Buckingham Palace, essentially. This is a huge, huge palace. Beautiful garden out in front and in the back. All these like really pretty walkways with grapevines and all kinds of fruit growing in the gardens.
It's also intimidating as fuck.
It's also intimidating as fuck. It's got the Burninghammer sigil on banners and flags all over the palace. The airship lands in a lake very, very close to the palace. Bartholomew sees you out and he has the clockwork servants carry all of your luggage. And Bartholomew walks you to the entrance of the palace. You go through the entrance, the front gates, and you are walking through these beautiful gardens. You see two children, one of them running around trying to catch a bee in a jar, and the other one just sitting down with his legs tucked up on a bench reading a book, and he's dressed all in black. Nerd. Both of them stop what they're doing and look up at you.
Are they lions? I mean,
They're Leonin. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we see what book he's reading?
Oh boy.
This is a mistake wants to know.
Roll a perception check unless you're going really close.
Garbage. It's a 13.
I was picturing something about like mysteries of the afterlife, but you just see like the afterlife.
Mistake side mission to steal that book.
I think the little girl who's trying to catch the bee like runs like right up to you, doesn't talk to you, but just staring at so many different kinds of, and not really
So many different lessers.
not staring at Gary that much, but definitely staring at Shelly, definitely staring at Mistake. What's Koss look like right now?
I think Koss is
A Leonin.
associate with what would Koss associate with being fancy? I think like a high elf of some kind.
You've done that before, yeah. So she's mostly staring at Mistake and at Shelly. Like, mouth open, drops the jar. She had already caught a bee, and the jar shatters, and the bee just goes buzzing away.
Oh, hi, what's your name?
Siggy?
See?
Siggy Burninghammer?
My name's Shelly. You could
What
be...
are you?
Where am I?
What are you?
Oh, how would you describe me, Koss?
I would describe you as a wonderful person and also a turtle.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
Hello, Siggy. My name's Koss. I'm just getting out ahead of this. I'm a changeling, and then Koss will do a couple face changes in a somewhat whimsical fashion with her hat.
Whoa! Could you look like me?
I could actually. And then Koss will be a taller Siggy.
Her smile fades because you look a lot like her mother.
Oh, sorry. I'll change back, and then we'll go back to the high elf.
What about you?
I'm tiefling.
You're a kind tiefling who likes books.
I don't know about kind exactly, but...
Curious little kid that she is, she runs over to the bench where the emo Leonin is reading his book, pulls something from under the bench, and brings it over. You want to see my ant farm? And she opens up this little box, and it's just swarming with ants. There's a lot of dirt, but they've built tunnels, and it's filled with fungi and all that.
Wow, they work together really well.
That's kind of what ants do.
Well, I know, but I don't just observe ants all the time.
I have a bigger one out back.
Oh, you have a bigger one?
I have a bigger one out back, yeah. You want to go see?
Yeah.
Bartholomew's like, Master Bjorn is expecting you all.
I guess. Okay, fine.
I'll go with Siggy. You guys go meet Master Bartholomew. I mean, Bjorn.
Shelly, have you been drinking the liquor and also your own turtle brew?
Shelly's gonna, like, covertly put back a bottle into their shell.
You are not allowed to be around children right now.
So I'm gonna go with no.
Also, don't remember that you shouldn't ask if you can touch their manes. That's culturally insensitive.
Probably just don't ask to touch people at all.
And you see anything off-putting, do not comment.
Generally,
Left fork first.
avoid eye contact, just
Try
answer
not to
yes
break.
to everything, don't break anything, don't touch anything, don't speak unless spoken to.
What if I break something but I fix it again?
Depends on what mood he's in.
Remember, when you enter a doorway, always step with your right foot if you identify as male, left foot if you identify as female, and then
You just jump through
yes, also
doors?
jump through the doors.
Okay, you just, alright.
Great, now that we have all that sorted. Welcome to Burninghammer Palace.
He opens the doors. If you thought the palace was extravagant and scary on the outside, oh boy, would you care to chime in? What does your home look like?
Boy. I'm gonna base it off of the Biltmore Estate in North Carolina. It's fuck all gorgeous, and every room is done in a different style. And there are many, many rooms. And of course there's quarters for the help, the main way that you go through the house, and then like the family's way you go through the house, and then like the secret ways through the house.
God
Oh,
damn.
hell yeah. You see this, you're hit with all this beauty, and then you also see Griff standing there right below the grand staircase that leads up.
Wearing a tracksuit.
Griff! Hello! And then, like, basically run up to him and then, like, hesitate on a hug because they still haven't resolved the whole thing with him killing a dude.
Two dudes.
So the way that I see that happening is like we both embrace each other's shoulders from far away.
Yeah. How have you been?
I've been good. How have you been?
Oh, I've been great. This house is so big.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I'm just talking about this house and not, like, the third house I saw over to the left.
Yeah,
there was this house that we saw as we were flying over. That one was even bigger.
Yeah, there are parts that I don't remember really what they look like. It's a lot of house.
Are there things that grubby people like me are actually allowed to touch, or should I just avoid everything?
Master Griff did mention you, Master Mistake, have a liking for books. Master Bjorn does not mind if you check out the books, as long as it's not in his private study.
And I got you all these. Well, me and Bart did. We hand out matching tracksuits.
I do want to say these tracksuits are for leisure, not for the gala tomorrow.
Presumably, yeah, we already got our gala clothes.
But we have time for leisure in the meantime.
Of course.
Great.
Actually, Master Griff, feel free to join us. I'm escorting you to your suite.
We have a suite?
You have a suite?
Does it have a kitchen?
No, but you get food brought up from the kitchens.
We could probably find a hot plate.
I would accept a hot plate.
Alright, we'll take some stuff from the kitchens.
Meanwhile, Shelly, this little Leonin girl, she must be like 7 years old. Really tiny compared to you. She's like pulling you like around the palace.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're able to see the servants' quarters, the family apartment.
Shelly asks about every single one.
Oh, she'll tell you. Uncle Olaf, well, he's kind of nice. My cousins are not very, except for Halfdan. He's all right. Uncle Bjorn, very strict. Aunt Astrid, very nice. We don't talk about Osric.
I just want to know if Griff is included in the cousins who aren't very nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
She points at like the bottom apartment. It's like, that's where Uncle Ivar lives. He needs the ramps because, well, he's in a wheelchair.
Oh,
That over there, and points to a very dark, shabby-looking apartment. It's like, that's where Uncle Osric used to live.
the one we don't talk
The
about.
one we don't talk about.
So why don't we talk about him?
Well, because she gets very serious all of a sudden. They say he killed someone.
No.
Yeah.
Well, we don't do that.
No, we don't do that.
No, we don't do that. Nope.
Anyway, over there, you see the second floor, that's Uncle Olaf's place. Over there is Cousin Jarek and his new wife, Rita. She's not very happy. Over there, we have the whole walk. She keeps getting distracted by bugs. She's trying to catch a butterfly. She tries to catch a caterpillar. And she brings you to the garden where there's an ant colony that they set up. Like, they set up a glass, kind of like a mini greenhouse, but it's for ants.
I want to say that Shelly pulls out their rag, their wet towel, and that a few butterflies land on it.
How'd you do that?
Oh, you know, I just, when you grow up in the swamp, you learn a familiar scent.
I never caught a butterfly.
Would you like to be caught?
No. I mean, I kind of am.
What do you mean?
I don't really leave here.
Oh, well, you know, I didn't leave the swamp until 2 weeks ago.
That is really sad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of what happens when you, like, don't have means and your parents are living somewhere. Where's your mom?
Ravnica. Well,
Oh, that's where I was.
I assume she's coming soon. You know, she's a lieutenant, and, well, I just... And as she's talking, you see your friends coming to get you.
Before they get there, Shelly's gonna be like, well, I'll be your mom while they're gone.
Okay.
Hey Shelly, we have a suite! Also, you have a tracksuit!
Oh my goodness. This suite. The common room of the suite is easily 3 times as big as your tower common room. With like private rooms all along the edges of the suite. So you each actually get a private bedroom. And it is quite ready for you. Like, there are pitchers of water and wine laid out and glasses and plates and...
So, as the door opens, Koss just, like, looks into this place with their eyes wide, and they just, like, run in all the way to the other side as Bartholomew is like walking through all the different amenities. They just hear from the other side of the suite, "This place is so big! Look, there's paintings!" And then you see them run off to a different room.
Mistake is very uncomfortable. She's just like keeping her hands very close. She keeps having the conflict of like trying to keep her hands like hidden to be like not touching anything, but also the conflict of no, need to make sure my hands are visible so they don't think I'm stealing anything. And so she just kind of ends up being very awkward, like fidgeting, hands in pockets, out of pockets, arms crossed, no need to have hands visible, and like tail keeps wrapping around her ankle, and she eventually just finds somewhere in the middle of the room away from everything and just stands there.
Since you had the tail wrapped around your leg and then you literally move away someplace else, Griff is just gonna quietly walk up to you and just say, "You can do anything you want in here. If it gets weird, you can come up here and you can do your thing."
You sure about that? This is very...
It's a lot of house.
It's very expensive in here.
It's a lot of house. I don't remember the last time any of my family members have been in this room, let alone talk about it.
Alright.
And yet there is a very grand painting of Bjorn Burninghammer, Astrid Burninghammer, and a little 4-year-old griffin.
Aww.
That's
between them.
supposed to be you?
Yeah.
Shelly, there's a hot tub!
When Shelly hears the bathtub, Shelly's gonna drop a delicate vase and run over to the bathtub.
Don't try and stop the vase with me.
Sleight of hand. Oh god, sleight of hand with your mage hand.
Oh no. 13?
I want to say you catch it, but then like, you catch it and then also kind of bump it against the wall so it still cracks a little.
Griff walks up, sets it down, and swats it off. And then turns back around and says, "Anything you want." And he just starts to sweep it up.
I can fix that.
If things go missing from this room, usually if things go missing, they blame the tiefling.
He finds another expensive thing, and he just puts it in his pocket, and he says, "We'll be fine."
Alright.
Koss kind of like sneaks up behind Mistake and Gary and just like is, "Psst, hey, so the hot tub comes with the swim up bar? I thought you might be interested."
I don't know what that is.
It's a big enough hot tub to swim in?
Yes, it's more of like a really hot pool.
Master Bjorn and company await your company in 1 hour's time for supper.
For supper? What's
I
that?
leave them in your care,
It's
Master Griff.
evening meal.
Evening meal.
So what fancy people call dinner?
Oh.
Well, it depends on the fancy people, because for some fancy people, they're actually two different things.
Some fancy people call lunch dinner and dinner supper.
And then there's also tea.
Is this
And
kind
how-
of like the dating thing?
No.
Very different from that.
Very,
This is
very
more like the fork thing.
The fork thing. Okay.
And it's not to be confused with forking, which is also different, but
More like the dating
like the
thing.
dating
I
thing,
believe
yes.
so, yes.
Okay.
And so
so
is spooning. for
should
that
I
matter.
add spooning?
Yes.
Spooning and forking. Okay, I'll ask Xanther about it later.
You
So
definitely should.
How are you feeling, sir?
Probably just as confident as you.
Meaning not very.
It's gonna be great.
I'm honestly worried about my own job.
Sorry.
I gave them the manner spiel too.
I am very worried, sir. Have you considered maybe finding a last-minute entourage? No offense.
There is literally no one else that will have me around. I have done a lot of things.
That's almost an insult to us, too. Damn.
In a very nice way.
We're the losers that'll hang out with Griff.
Don't get me wrong.
I mean, they're all very kind.
They're all very kind. I don't know that your father cares for kindness.
No.
Your father loathes the name F Squad. Do not say that in his presence.
Honestly, I had no idea he paid that much attention.
He reads every Strixhaven star. Well, he does now, ever since you started. Let's just hope for the best. And he pulls out a flask, and he's drinking on the job. Don't tell your father, please.
I had no idea.
I hide it very well, sir. I am very dexterous. And they go down and they get you all.
Mistakes were in the tracksuit.
Okay?
Because it's probably nicer than the clothes you had.
Sure.
All
that
of
one was
Koss's
really
nice clothes are dwarven size, so I think Koss is a dwarf currently.
Okay.
I was considering having Shelly wear the Dragon's Guard cape that Rampart gave them.
Oh, it'd look nice.
Fine, Shelly will wear the Dragon's Guard thingy.
That'll score you some points, I will say.
Gary is wearing whatever he owns that is the least stained.
Okay. You are all brought into this...
Griff is wearing the tracksuit.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
Of
It's
course.
a
Assume.
Griffin mistake badge.
Gruesome twosome!
That's right.
Welcome to the dining hall. He opens the door. There's music playing. There's a string quartet in the corner of this dining hall. There's a long rectangular fireplace, and above you are all sorts of beautiful paintings, mostly scenic. No portraits, it's just like landscapes of Arcadios. Sitting at the table, there's already a few people. You see two middle-aged Leonins, as well as a young couple. Leonin as well, but kind of like the snow leopard kind of fur, the younger couple, and also the two kids that you saw at the gardens. And that's what you see.
It's dinner time, we'd have to be fancy.
Are there assigned seats?
There are. All
Does-
of the Burninghammers are sitting on one end of the very long rectangular table. All of you are sitting at the opposite end, with Griff being the other head.
Is there a seat next to Siggy that's empty?
Yeah.
Shelly's gonna go sit next to Siggy.
Okay.
No, you...
Siggy, I had a question for you.
Yeah.
So, I want to invite you and your direct family to the swamp.
They're not gonna let me.
But,
Please stop talking so loud.
but,
Please
just-
stop talking so loud.
Hey, Shelly, what? We'll talk about this after dinner when we have our desserts and,
Griffin, who are your friends?
was one of the rules not to talk loud?
Please introduce us, unless you are ashamed of your uncles, Griffin.
No. These are my friends.
Your two uncles, one of them is Uncle Ivar, who's in the wheelchair, and Uncle Olaf, who is the kind of more heavy-set one, who is the father of the cousin that hates you. And
Which
the two-
cousin who hates me? The little girl?
Jarek hates you.
Derek is...
He's the only one with a wife.
He just graduated like a year ago, so he's 4 or 5 years older than you.
And he hates me.
And he is quite competitive, and because he is the cousin, he's not the Burninghammer kid, he's very resentful about that. He does have a wife. She's a very attractive-looking, half Leonin, half Tabaxi, but she's...
Yeah, Griff knows.
She's pouting, not looking at anyone, just like picking at the fruit that's on the side of the table for appetizers. So you have a few minutes, basically, to chat with your family, with your uncles and your cousins before your parents arrive. Is it awkward as fuck? Or do any of you try talking to the family?
Depends upon what questions they ask.
Yeah, Mistake's going by the speak only if spoken to and is otherwise just like sitting very like perfect posture, hands folded across her lap. Like
Shelly's gonna pull out their book and say, the first rule in the book that I was given says not to ask any Leonin to pet their mane, especially Griff's dad.
The Uncle Ivar, who's in the wheelchair, like leans in, like, very intuitive. What is your name?
Oh, I'm Shelly, what's yours?
Ivar Burninghammer. He pulls out a trembling hand that his fingers are kind of warped as he tries to shake your hand.
Shelly's gonna put the stump and put it up into the hand
Oh my god.
to make it seem like he has hold of it.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure!
Never met anyone like you before.
Oh yeah, that's what Siggy said to me too.
Yeah, Shelly is 1 in a million.
He smells his paw.
Oh, weird.
That's where the smell comes from. Uncle Olaf looks at you, at the dwarf, and says, you involved in any trades, lad? First of all, what's your name?
My name is Cos. I am a member of the Silver Trove clan, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Silver Trove, iron.
Yes. Also silver, but that's kind of more just like the namesake at this point.
Well, I better be careful, or your family's gonna give me a run for my money, lad.
Oh, I mean, I can't imagine so.
You have kind friends, Griffin. What about the two quiet ones?
Oh, well.
Yes, indeed, cousin. Introduce us to the two quiet ones. And your cousin who hates you is staring at Mistake specifically.
You'll have to forgive Jarek. He has a staring problem whenever he gets uncomfortable.
I like to call myself perceptive.
Ooh, did you notice what's in my shell? Shelly will pull out a pickaxe.
Holy hell. That's impressive.
Do you want some of this? And Shelly's gonna pull out some alcohol.
You're very open about your belongings for someone who's sharing a room with, well, shall I even say?
With
Jared
all of our...
Burninghammer, yes? Her son Olaf just graduated from Strixhaven.
How do you know that?
It's not hard to find information about the Burninghammers. I came prepared. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm curious what your perceptive eyes have noticed.
Absolute shit.
He rolled a 4. Well, you're quite well spoken. You must not be from Redfell.
The only place tieflings can possibly come from, yes? Surely there are no others anywhere outside of Redfell. Memory serves, there's only around 1,000 or so in that city.
You're quite smart. What are you doing hanging around with Cousin Griff?
Well, I'm sure you know, tieflings have their bloodlines follow them wherever we go. It's not something we have a say in, it is something that we simply are.
Oh, I hear you. So do Leonins.
Precisely. I relate in that regard.
What the fuck are you talking about?
His wife has also just stopped eating and like looks over at the two of you chatting, and you get like not an air of jealousy but just an air of like, really dude, like you're he's like leaning into you now like. Meanwhile the two kids are being quiet as hell.
Mistake's gonna thaumaturgy her eyes black and wink at them.
Half of them is now staring at you perplexedly. Siggy gets a little scared. That was so cool but scary at the same time.
What was cool?
Your friend's eyes.
Mistake, what'd you do with your eyes? I missed it.
I don't know what you mean, Shelley.
And then out of nowhere, out of fucking nowhere, you hear a whisper coming from Halfdan that says, "Did you know that worms always go straight for the eye when you're a corpse?"
To Shelly?
To all of you. To both of you. And Siggy, who just like is very off put by it.
Makes sense. Soft, gushy part.
Yeah.
Entry to the brain.
If I was a worm, I'd find a shell. It's like a great protection.
I think you want to be a snail.
Whoa!
And they bring out the appetizers and they're snails. At the same time that they're bringing in the appetizers, the uncles and the cousins go quiet as the matriarch and the patriarch enter the room.
Everybody has to stand up.
I was actually just gonna ask, do you stand up when they enter?
Everybody
All of the
stands up.
Burninghammers stand up,
Oh, yeah.
including the kids, so they kind of...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we stand
yeah,
up
yeah.
too, or I stand up too.
Yep.
And Shelly will stand up too.
Gary does stand up, but it takes him a while to, like, realize, because he didn't read this and he's not paying attention. And it's not until he kind of is like, it's been a few seconds, and he looks around, he's oh shit.
Do a dexterity saving throw.
8.
Oh no.
When you stand up, you like bump into the table and your glass of wine or whatever the hell like tips over and spills all over the table. So when Bjorn and Astrid are standing at the head of the
Gonna
table.
prestidigitation it clean.
Oh, thank goodness. I was about to say. Welcome. Everyone, to the supper before the winter gala. You know what that means? Bring out the drinks. Immediately the servants come out with just a tray of all possible drinks you could think of. Wine, ale, sangria, just...
Shelly's gonna take out their brew and say, "Did you say take out the alcohol?"
What is that?
Oh, I've spent 2 months working on this recipe. It's infused with Ravnican apples.
An entrepreneur, are you?
Do you want to try it? I'd be so honored if you tried it.
How many test subjects have you had?
3.
Then no.
What if I told you 7?
The alcohol breakdown of it is actually quite remarkable. It's unlike most other alcohols that you would find around.
Come on, you gotta try it. You gotta. Nat 20.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. You're already starting off with a... So,
Fucking Nat 20.
See, this is what happens when you just roll unprovoked. When Alex calls for the roll,
you hear Bjorn huff a little angrily, and you see Astrid like put a hand on his shoulder, like, just come on, like, relax. He takes a deep breath as the appetizers are being passed around. They bring out the soups, the salads, the starter courses, and he walks over to the other side of the table, slowly. The long way around to get to Shelly, so that he walks around all the rest of you first. When my son told me that his friends were quirky, I did not expect this. Before anything, and he does eye your hooch. So before anything, I will have names.
I'm Garrett Grigg.
Garrett Grigg. Is that a noble family?
No, my parents are tailors. We don't talk that much. I haven't lived with them since I started being an apprentice for the Izzet engineers.
Oh, an engineer.
Yes.
Well, that's something. What about you?
I go by mistake.
Mistake. And who named you that?
I did.
Why?
We often choose our names.
I know that.
For some, it represents what they aspire to, others what they believe they are. For me, I choose to be humble and recognize that even when you make all the right moves, you still might be wrong.
Can you roll a charisma check? Also you. Persuasion or deception or performance.
I'm going to use my inspiration to re-roll that, not 1.
Okay.
I did well for once. I have an 18.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
Parents love engineers.
Okay. Pretty warm reception from him for the two of you. He just kind of nods. That is humble. To name yourself. Something like that.
She's avoiding eye contact, and her tail has wrapped tight enough around her ankle that her toes are going numb.
I want to say, as he keeps walking to the others, he like fixes Mistake's spoon. It's a tad bit crooked. And he keeps walking. And you? I didn't know we would have a dwarf amongst our table.
Good evening, sir. And you do, but you also have a changeling among your table. My name is Cost Silvertrove.
Oh. Cost Silvertrove. Why does that ring a bell? And then, Iron. I believe I've met a few of the Silvertroves. They're alright. And then Bjorn is like, Have you ever been to an event like this, Silvertrove?
Oh, I've been to a lot of fancy events, but none quite as elegant as this one, sir.
Well, nice. Try and make memories where you can, lad.
I always do.
Now roll me a charisma check for me.
Oh, do bad. I did bad. If I do performance, it's still a 10, but...
Wow.
To you, he'll lean in. Changelings are known for their trickery. I will have no trickery at my gala tomorrow. Is that understood?
Of course, sir.
Good. And finally, you.
Shelley has a glass. Mr. Burninghammer, here.
He'll take it, smell it, stare at it. Who are you?
Oh, my name is Shelley.
Shelley. Of House.
What's a house?
It's like your last name.
Your family name here.
Oh, Shell.
Never heard of you.
They're a well-respected family at the school.
Ah, the Swamp Keepers.
Yeah.
Captain Dappling has told me all about you. Or your clan, at least.
My clan? Is that like the Dragon's Guard? Shelley will flutter their cape a little.
Well, at least one of the people in the entourage is representing Strixhaven as they ought to be represented. Well, that aftertaste.
Yeah, I haven't figured that out yet. The original, I infused it with the Ravnican apples, right? And I feel like it tastes pretty good. But I feel like the aftertaste is it's still a little raw, you know? So basically, I did this trial and error thing. We tried a bunch of different herbs and fruits and stuff, and all of them changed the original taste. After it goes down your throat, it's like on your tonsils. All you feel is a little raw, like something's kind of melted a little bit of your insides, and I need to figure that out still.
You have yet to figure it out.
Yes.
That's not proper grammar.
I have yet to figure it out.
Wait, but so did you see the alchemical breakdown that I sent you? Because I think that might help me.
Gary, don't forget the book.
I spilled a cocktail on the book.
Shelley, I'm pretty sure I saw you reading that book too, right?
Yeah, that's how we know that Gary shouldn't talk out of line.
Okay, please stop.
The Burninghammers spend a lot of time talking to themselves and leave the five of you to kind of figure it out. You know, to talk amongst yourselves. You have your own side of the table. Every now and then you might get some questions, but for the most part it is very divided.
At some point during the dinner, Mistake's going to lean over to Gary and say, Gary, you can't have garlic anymore.
Fuck! Well, I can have it here.
Yes, just not if ever you want to
A
swap spit
clockwork-
with Aurora.
A clockwork servant is just like putting like garlic powder on your meal and it's like, tell me when to stop.
Nope, keep going. A little more.
The bottle
I need to
is,
appreciate this.
the bottle is
I do.
almost done.
If you have that much, it might stay on your breath for a few weeks.
That's not a thing.
So I think if there's still conversation going on the other side, and it's like loud enough that nobody's paying attention to us, Koss will say to Griff at some point, "Oh, Griff, so we actually have some news about the gala that we got."
Should we talk about that here?
Oh, well, nobody's paying attention to us.
Maybe we should do that upstairs.
Is it like bad?
No, it's just there's a particular guest that we've heard about that we're very excited to see, and we thought we'd talk to you about it, perhaps in private.
Why so secretive over there, Cousin Griff?
I didn't think you were interested.
I'm always interested in what my favorite cousin has to say. So tell me, what are you and your... What is it they call themselves, Uncle? F Squad?
Oh, sorry, we were trying to be secretive because we were trying to hide something that's a little bit embarrassing, but one of our friends recently got into a relationship.
Oh boy.
Yes. Yeah, I
We'll
asked...
share it with the table. We love romance here, don't we, Uncle?
I asked out another one of our housemates and she said yes, and we have a date after winter break.
Ah, Brother Bjorn asked out Astrid on his first year, didn't you, brother? Bjorn says nothing. He just keeps eating.
Well, that's great that it worked out for you. That, you know, university romances from first years. I don't know how many of those actually last a long time.
The mom will say, well, memories come first. You make memories and then you make relationships. The gods have a path for you, and I'm sure they have a soulmate somewhere out there for you.
I mean, I don't really know about soulmates.
I'm still waiting for my Griff to find his significant other.
Griff just stares. Half smiles.
Perhaps it might be one of you.
How is... Oh, Bjorn is not happy about that one.
Bjorn's is like presses on his plate so hard that it breaks on him.
Oh. Do you want me to mend that?
No. And the clockwork servant's already replacing the plate.
How is Brita reacting to?
She's been dead fucking quiet. She is not happy to be there. Y'all won't even make you roll a perception check. He has resting bitch face. Or RBF.
Yeah.
I will whisper over to Griff as after this conversation dies down. It's Aurora, and I didn't expect that either, but it's so cute.
Oh, that's nice. Can't have garlic though.
Yeah.
I suppose that this might be a good time to mention that, given your affiliation with my son, Griffin, I will extend the courtesy and announce tomorrow that the four of you will be honored with the Burninghammer Scholarship. Your second year will be paid for by Burninghammer House. As a courtesy for being my son's entourage this year. You are welcome.
I need to go get something for a headache.
Just a second. We do have a thing to discuss.
Shall I give you privacy, sir?
Yes,
Sure.
probably.
If you need anything, I'll be right down the hall.
Griff, have you heard of someone called the Collector?
It is a 10.
Nope.
No, he has a headache.
So, the Collector, someone, probably Auric, who collects people, largely. People who are in debt, takes them, sells them, forces them to pay off their debts through slavery, that kind of thing. No one really knows what he looks like. They just see him wearing a mask and a top hat all the time.
And how did you find out about this guest?
Nora.
Apparently he operates where she's from. She got information that said he's going to be a guest here, but of course he's not going to be wearing the mask and the top hat. He often disguises himself as people who are known to his victims.
Who is the collector gonna collect on?
No idea.
That's a very good question, but I think we should keep an eye out.
I mean, Gary owes money. Is it that kind of collection?
I don't think so.
I don't think they'd go as far as getting the Collector for that one.
Also, Gary, no offense meant, but I don't think you're important enough for the Collector to try.
None taken. I don't think so either.
And I don't think the people you owe are ruthless enough to go for the Collector either.
Yeah, they actually have been kind of reasonable lately.
So,
Good.
the point stands, there are a lot of important people here, so it could be almost anybody.
It just seems a bit odd. I don't know.
Griff, do you have the guest list?
I mean, I could probably tell you who I know will definitely be here. I don't.
I guess, and the Venn diagram between people who will definitely be here and people that we know.
He'll just peek his head out the door. Bart!
Immediately the door opens. Yes, sir.
Could I take a quick gander at the guest list?
Why, sir?
Sure, sir, sure.
For a minute, he really didn't want to lie to him.
I should know better than to pry. I'm just very worried, sir. That's all.
It could be Dapplewing. Dapplewing's been having health issues, so she's possibly, I guess, a softer target than usual.
I didn't get the vibe that he was an assassin. But maybe.
Pardon, I'm just pouring myself a drink.
This isn't really something that I wanted to share, because it's not really my story to tell, but I do know the Arnezas are in financial difficulty, so they might be a potential target for this.
How much money do they need?
I didn't ask.
I have a few gold.
I don't think it's that little.
If they're a target for this, then it's a lot of gold.
I'm gonna kill him. That's what we agreed, right?
I don't know.
We're going
about
to
that.
we're going to do something about him being here at least.
So, Arnezas could be a target, but then who is the collector? Because that's ultimately what we need to know.
I mean, I guess we would, if he's targeting the Arnezas, then we would know by keeping an eye on them.
Or by doing something more along these lines, and Koss will turn into Loreen.
I think they will know that you're not actually Loreen.
Well, sure, the Arnezas would know, but would the collector?
So, dress as Loreen nowhere near the actual Arnezas and hope nobody tells the Arnezas, hey, did you know your daughter's here?
We don't necessarily have to get involved, just us. If something happens, this is my dad's house.
That's true. How receptive would your family be to something like this?
I'm sure that they wouldn't appreciate somebody disrupting their gala and making a bad name for it.
So should we tell your parents?
No. I wouldn't trust my dad with that anyways.
Maybe not on just hearsay. Someone at school said this person would be here.
So what you're saying is that if someone comes up to me and says, "You look like a tasty turtle soup," I should scream, "Mr. Burninghammer!"
I think if someone says that to you, you should get your axe out.
Oh.
There's a knock on the door.
Hello? Who is it?
The door just opens.
Well, good thing none of us were naked.
What are you talking?
Is Shelly naked?
Shelly's always
Shelly's always naked.
Griff, it's your cousin. Very pale looking,
Jared.
white mane, kind of an albino lion, if you will. Still very handsome by Leonin standards.
He's alright.
So he stares you down. Now that his dad and your dad are not around, the farce is gone. Pardon me. I'm looking for my wife. Has she been around this area?
No, we haven't seen her at all.
Not since dinner. Supper.
Are you sure? Because she has a tendency to hide from me when she's trying to avoid a conversation.
The last thing I want to do is further embroil myself in your stuff. So no, she's not here.
Though she sounds like a smart woman.
What?
Generally, hiding from conversations is not the way you want to go.
He closes the door. Oh, you all think you're so clever, aren't you? Appealing to Uncle Bjorn. Well, you know it's all charity, right?
Jarek,
That's all it is. He doesn't
please
care
leave.
about you.
This isn't the time.
Is it? Because and you can smell the drink on him. I think it's the perfect time, right before the gala. I think the truth should be out, shouldn't it?
I think you're doing a perfect job outing your truth of being a drunk and embarrassing yourself. You should go before you make it worse. In fact, I'll open the door, and I'm gonna put my hands on him and start to push him out.
Let's do a strength check, why don't we?
Yeah. 18.
Yeah, I rolled a 9. So I think he struggles and kind of raises his voice on the way out to get the last word out. And
We'll help by thaumaturgying the door open.
Thank you.
You know, none of them actually care about you. They'll just feel sorry for you. So when you shut the door on him, you just hear a vase breaking on the other side. He's just like, fuck.
I'm going to look around all of our rooms to see if someone's hiding in here. Can I do that as an investigation?
Investigation.
Yay. 14 plus 6, 20.
So, can we say that the rest of you keep chatting?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think, you're all chatting about what's going
He's
on.
apologizing.
While Mistake is checking every room. In your room.
Oh, alright.
You check every corner under the bed, you check everywhere, but you can see a pair of eyes. It's one of those closets that has like the little slits.
Oh, yeah. The blinds on it.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah. You can see a very familiar pair of eyes staring back.
blinking like she knows she got caught.
Going to say quietly.
I'm not going to turn you over.
Thanks. Is the chef here yet?
The chef as in Gary or an actual chef?
No, and that's when there's another knock on the door. This one's a lot heavier.
Oh, come on. So, Griff, I have it. And
Do you want the chef to know you're here?
Yeah, yes.
You do? All right.
I'm really sorry to intrude on your privacy. I don't care what you are. I'm not like them. Can I just wait here for a sec?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. And when Griff opens the door,
He opens it kind of slowly. He has his foot behind the door, so he opens it maybe like, enough to see shoulder to shoulder.
you see an ogre. He's new at the Burninghammer Palace, but he's the chef. His name is Guillaume, Gyome. People pronounce it differently.
Sup, G?
Someone requested a hot plate. I need to speak to this individual.
Yeah, that was me.
For who? I know you don't cook, you suck.
Oh, I'm awful at it. You're absolutely right, and that's why we have you here, G. We're very grateful. We have another G. His name is Gary, and they're practicing.
Bring him at once.
Oh, okay. Hang on, just...
You can let him in, Griff.
Okay. Oh,
This is very unusual. I'm not allowed in the suites.
okay, just come in. It's okay, it's fine.
Alright.
He wheels in this cart where he has like a hot plate,
Can one wheel be like, cuckoo?
all sorts of pots and pans and like spices. It's like a mini kitchen
Yeah.
ready to use, like on a cart.
Oh, that's great. A la carte.
Hey!
Is this him?
Hi. Yes. Are you the chef?
Who's asking?
That's Gary.
Hi, I'm Gary.
You're the one that don't like my cooking?
That is not what I said at all. Your cooking is actually delicious.
What was your favorite part?
The escargot.
Smart kid.
I just enjoy cooking myself. I find it very therapeutic, and I figured I also find alchemy therapeutic, but that often blows things up, and I didn't want to blow anything up here.
Very well.
Actually, charisma check.
Right.
Oh no.
That's a 17.
Oh, okay. He nods like,
I was just like you once. Never wanted anyone to cook for me. I just cook for myself. Mostly because I had trust issues. But
Did
I
you
get it. I get it.
Did you get over your trust issues?
No.
So you're still like me.
Here you go. Take the card.
and around that moment, mistake. Brita Burninghammer, the wife of Jarek, walks out of the closet, and she's holding a coin purse.
Are you alright?
No. And she just walks right by you, straight to the chef. Excuse me, Mr. Guillaume? I was told you could help me. Here. And she hands him the coin purse. He looks at it, takes a peek inside, and pulls out a note.
I'll see that it gets done.
And he puts the note back in the coin purse, puts the coin purse in his pocket. And heads for the door.
Not for nothing, but what? I don't mean to intrude, but
When did she get here? Not that you're not welcome?
I literally just told your drunk husband that
Thank you for that.
you weren't.
No, that was definitely the right thing to do.
But what is?
Let's not talk about it. It's not important for you. It doesn't.
It seems important for you, and
It is.
he super sucks. Do you need help?
In other words, we'd far sooner help you than Jarek.
Can you roll a, I think persuasion?
15.
Really, this is nobody's business but mine. And Mr. Guyon.
You could tell me over there and away from everybody else, but I feel like...
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with that. I'd sooner tell her.
Well, if ever you do want to chat with just me, you know where I am. You found my room rather well.
Is Jarek a threat in this house?
He'll pass out soon enough.
Can I get a sense from like an insight roll? Is she concerned for her safety? 16.
She's not concerned for her safety. She more looks like she wants out of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
She's obviously not happy. She was not happy at the table. They barely talk to each other even though they're married. That's all you get.
If something is wrong and you need someone to look the other way, or you need other people's help, like...
The only help I need is from your chef. No offense. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk.
I mean, chefs can poison food, and that sounds super shady.
I'm counting on it.
If I may...
Oh, hard stop.
Not like that. I'm gonna go now.
No.
Yes.
You're poison how?
It's not your business.
It's
Chris.
literally family business. It couldn't be any more personal. As much as I hate him, you're literally talking about drugging family. I told him that you weren't here, and even if you were here, I'd probably tell him that you weren't here. He sucks, but you're talking about poisoning.
I'm not gonna poison your cousin, Griff. Okay, I'm not a murderer.
I heard that your Uncle Osric is, though, Griff.
Not now!
Or would you be...
I'm gonna walk away from that conversation.
Or is it more poisoning yourself to get out of a bad situation?
Something like that.
It's not worth it.
I think it is.
There are other ways out.
Not in my situation, dear. And she heads out the door.
So, not to be too crass, but did your cousin's wife just imply that she was going to commit suicide? Because we should do something about
like
that.
She was trying to do that thing from that other tragic play that Professor Zaphi has had us read.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Basically, poison herself in a way that she looks dead. So they will take her supposed corpse away. She revives and can leave.
I think it was called Nomeo and Juliet.
Something like that, yeah.
But in that
they all
one,
just kind of blurred together after a while.
doesn't the gnome kill itself in the end?
Yes, after the ghoul re-dies.
But it's also a love story, so it's not to leave a bad relationship exactly. It's to pretend you're dead so that you can leave the family, so then you can be reunited with your true love.
If I may, it kind of seems like if I were the collector and I was trying to find somebody of a high station who is in a vulnerable position to be collected, she would be a wonderful target for that.
Not any better than you, though.
No, I believe the Burninghammers have quite a bit more funds behind them.
I thought that you said that you were made of silver, and you had a trove of it.
That's just the clan name. I had to take a couple history classes. The clan was named after a big silver vein that they found, and then they turned into a whole trade empire. Long story short, I don't have access to this trove of silver anymore, and I think it's been long since depleted.
Oh, okay. I just thought it would be cool if one of us was the object of the collection. I mean, I don't know, like, you four are the ones that I think are the most valuable in the world.
Oh,
That's very kind.
that is very nice, yes.
Did you spill your booze in your shell?
What?
What?
Unfortunately, Shelley, I think the only one of us who actually, counts as important to the outside world is Griff.
Why?
Money, Shelley.
Power, status, familial ties.
Oh, you know, dating was one thing. I think I'm not ready for all of this.
Gary has a point. A family like mine has long-reaching claws. Once someone is in the family, for better or worse, they're in the family, unless there's a reason to kick them out.
Of course, it was an arranged marriage as well, so it's not like she had any say in it.
Does accepting the scholarship make us part of the family?
No, but that's a whole other conversation, which...
I mean, it is very generous.
I want to say that as this is happening, this suite has a nice, a beautiful balcony with a view of the gardens, and they're setting up a stage. They're setting up all kinds of like lanterns for, the garden is essentially a part of the gala. People can roam freely, and you can see they're setting up a big old sign of like recipients of the Burninghammer scholarship, and it's all 4 of you with portraits somehow of yourselves.
What did they go with for costs?
I think they would have gone with the dwarf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever they
With
were
your
for
hat.
costs, Yep.
They're doing this in preparation for the next day.
Oh, do they have our names there?
Yep, you'll be on display.
Oh, good. I need to go fix something. Hey, Shelly, could you jump me down there?
Let's go!
Griff literally says that this is disgusting. You guys realize that none of this is about you, right?
Oh, entirely. It's all posturing.
Seemed pretty clear.
Shelly?
Are we still here?
No, we're gone.
They're gone. Shelly, and then there was
His turns.
Shelly and Koss are complete.
So what's happening down on the grounds?
So, I don't know, you tell me. You land.
Koss is just like going up to whoever is painting the thing and is basically saying, make it say Adrian.
Okay, so it's a tabaxi. He's got a little step ladder and he's painting... I'm sorry, what?
Just, my name is, just make my name say Adrian Silvertrove, please.
He looks at his parchment, but this says Koss.
Yes, I know what it says.
Alright, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't mean to snap at you.
Are we changing our names?
Yeah.
Can you make mine say Shelly Shell?
Like twice.
Yeah.
It's the same name twice.
Yeah, Shelly Shell.
I guess if that's you, so sure, I'll write whatever you want.
I'm gonna be
Koss
Shelly
Silvertrove.
Shell.
Shelly. Anything else?
Adrian Silvertrove.
Adrian Silvertrove, I'm sorry. Here, and he just tears up the paper. So, the rest of your friends, good? The way they are?
I believe so, unless that one says Raya.
No, it's his mistake.
Okay, good. Sorry, I couldn't read it from over here.
Great. Alright, sure.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you folks. You're a bit weird. Are you okay? You feel
What's
okay?
your
You
name?
Samwell.
Samwell.
It's nice to meet you, Samuel.
I'm Shelly Shell.
Right, yes, I know now. And he's writing the second shell. Any particular colors? I mean, I've got a whole palette here. What's your favorite color?
All of them?
All of them it is. He writes the second shell in rainbow. Like, congratulations, by the way. I mean, that's a big deal. I wish I could go to Strixhaven. I'm just maintenance around here.
Well, if you're good at painting, there's actually I'm
not. I have just neat handwriting.
There is actually an entire school about handwriting as well.
Silverquill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's my dream, but never gonna happen. It's alright. No worries. I'll just take after my dad.
Okay, Samuel.
Alright, nice to meet you. Hey, you two are very nice.
We try to be.
Yeah. He has a basket of fruit next to him. He's like, take some.
Sure. Is this a Ravnican apple?
That's what I thought they were. This is perfect.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell Gary.
He stopped paying attention. He's looking up at a window where you were able to see Brita going back to her room. And she stares out the window too. He spaces out for a sec.
I'm rolling some insight. My shipping senses are tingling. I got a 13.
I got a 15.
Oh, okay. Koss senses that they know each other, but that's it. Shelly, on the other hand, notices that they're looking at each other in a way that feels familiar. It kind of reminds you of when you were back at school and your friends were talking about dating and that special person that you
It
both
looks like how your
frolicking with.
parents look at each other sometimes.
Yep.
Shelly's gonna go, that look in your eyes.
Hmm?
That look in your eyes. Koss, I think that he's dating someone.
Koss looks up to the window with Rita.
She closes the curtain.
Are you dating that person? She was just in our room.
There's no need to discuss this right now.
please.
But Shelley, we have more plans to make. But thank you very much.
Yeah. Cool.
You should teach me about dating sometime. Bye.
Why? You want
Has some strings attached to it.
Yeah.
Is it normal to get your friend who's rich to pay for your stuff?
Shelley, none of what you are going to experience or have experienced here is normal. Just smile and nod. Say as little as possible. Don't overtalk, please.
Yeah, that was rule number 4, I think, in the book. Right, Gary?
So,
I don't know. I still spilled a cocktail on it and all the ink ran off.
Fuck.
Just do your best to. Koss is in charge. Koss will tell you how to be. You clearly have done your research.
So,
Mistake
one
2.
Oh no, Cost is far more responsible
Okay.
than I am.
One
sure to
question.
help.
One question.
Okay,
One question.
one question.
You want me to not talk too much?
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Someone always be with Shelley. And Gary, don't fall down.
I'll try. It's not like I choose to fall down. I don't do it intentionally.
Okay.
Griff will make you proud.
Griff heads back to his quarters after a very long day, having to juggle your life with your friends and your life at home. Must have been stressful. I take it you get straight into your PJs and head straight to bed, or just head straight to bed, period.
Griff would change into his tracksuit PJs,
Of course.
which are velour.
Of course.
And, of course, Bartholomew is there to receive you and help you in anything you need. Sir, while I am worried about your father's reaction, I quite approve of your friends. They are kind in their own way. Much kinder than... And he looks up at the portrait of your father, of your family. Much kinder than most people that I know. I would be proud of the friends I had if I were you.
I am trying to spare them the unfortunate company of most people we know. And he made it very clear that I am to not have these friends. Literally, this whole weekend is going to be a show.
I quite understand your discomfort, sir. When he got the letter about your entourage, several things had to be mended. He did not take it well. But I think... Well, it doesn't matter what I think, sir. But
At this point, I'd appreciate hearing it.
I think that despite his age, your father has much to learn. After Bartholomew leaves and you are in bed and you are contemplating on what just happened, and you feel parchment underneath the pillow.
He holds a weapon.
Okay.
'Cause he doesn't know what else to expect.
Yeah. You lift the pillow and there's just a tiny little note there.
Stab it. I'm just kidding. Read it.
Okay. It says, "Hey Griffling, I said I looked forward to meeting you again. I still do. See you soon. Signed, Uncle Oz."
Oh. Shit.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us again this week. This episode was recorded in Watertown, Massachusetts, also known as the traditional land of the Pecosset and Nanantum peoples. I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of the talented musicians that helped bring this podcast to life with their amazing music. We've provided a link to their web pages in the description. I would also like to thank our talented players, Tyler Rubin, Amelia Markopoulos, Rin Garnett, Michael Yang, and Nikki Aguilar Thompson. This story would not be the same without their wonderful creativity. I've been your host and DM, Alex Aguilar Thompson, and I hope to see you here again next week for another episode of Roleplay Radio.
Wait, married people talk to each other?
Yeah, we do. We should try it.
Yeah, we should.
At some point, Uncle Ivar, the guy in the wheelchair, is going to lean into Garrett and say, "So, artificer, are you?
Yes.
You know, I had the best artificer in Ravnica build me this.
Is that how it's pronounced? I've always said artificer.
It's artificer.
Alright, well, too late to change it now.
So, what's your trade? Is it machinery, potions, explosives?
I have a little bit of an interest in everything. Machinery and explosives are great. I think that I will be focusing most of my efforts on alchemy, though.
A shame.
Really?
I was looking to hire someone to put some kind of weaponry in my wheelchair. You must understand. Sometimes a crippled old man needs some kind of protection other than the servants who are with us.
Do you get attacked a lot? It seems like this place is fairly well protected.
This place is. I like to get around.
That's fair. Have you met the Professor Lochiel?
Oh, yes.
I'm sure that she already has a lot of weaponry wheelchair designs.
Right, but Garrett, Lochiel's a Luxodon. That's not someone I would want to affiliate myself with, Garrett, Greg.
That's not really how affiliating with people should work.
Is that what you think?
Yes. I mean, who somebody is by accident of their birth hasn't got a huge bearing on who they are as a person.
how is the guild trade going? He completely ignores this conversation after that.
One of those SJW millennials.
Yeah.
Yup.
Snowflake.
Next, he's gonna be telling me about how he wants universal healthcare and not to pay for Strixhaven.
I thought Strixhaven had universal healthcare. I mean, we heal everything overnight. If that's not universal healthcare, I don't know